Crown the back-to-school champion parent with a Sagicor Bank unsecured loan.
The time by Sagicor Bank is
CVM News at 7 Wednesday headlines, courtesy of Heart NSTA Trust, Jamaica's Human Development Agency.
Every dream conquered is another dream gained. I land and I fly again like a jet plane. Headed straight in your direction, 'cause I'm wiser, one step closer. I'm winning 'cause I work so hard. And the music hits I play, and the people them I say we are my show tonight. Oh, what a feeling! Don't stop dreaming. Keep on believing in the power of the feeling. Whatever you want, take a chance. Song in your heart, step in your dance. You got a spark, don't put it down. Shine your lights on.
CVM News at 7 Wednesday headlines, courtesy of Heart NSTA Trust, Jamaica's Human Development Agency.
Tonight in CVM News at 7, Dr. Andrew Holness is to be sworn in as Prime Minister next week, Tuesday. We explore the aftermath of the Caledonia Road mayhem. Grooming policy nears completion. Also, silent struggles behind social media. Suicide cases climb. And later in sports, stakeholders react to the death of football legend Alan Skilcole.
CVM News at 7 Wednesday headlines, courtesy of Heart NSTA Trust, Jamaica's Human Development Agency.
When the bus the man, I want to watch my son play finals on CVM, you know.
But mums, you can't watch it on CVM website, man.
Boy, my son score, my son score, my son score, my son score.
Greatness begins here.
CVM News at 7 Wednesday, courtesy of.
Seize the next IPO opportunity seamlessly with the Sagicor e-Invest.
From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7. It's Wednesday, September 10, 2025. I'm Amoy Harriet. Thanks for joining us. We begin this evening with a CVM News follow-up. At least one resident who was familiar with the man fatally shot after a near 4-hour gun battle with special operation teams on Tuesday in Manchester says the incident was completely unexpected. The resident told CVM News that the suspect, Dave Wilson, who reportedly lived at the apartment complex near Caledonia Road for over a decade, didn't show signs of aggression, which is why his combative behavior was shocking. Curlin Brown tells us more.
It was now the center of attention. Motorists slowed to see the exterior of the apartment building, which bore evidence of the intense firepower they heard locked off the road the day before. The occupant of some 10 years, 54-year-old Dave Alfrancis Wilson, also called Brownman, losing out in the end after trading bullets with police and soldiers after fatally shooting a man said to have been known to him. Apart from the stigma of being a deportee, some like Brains, a DJ, finds it hard to match Brownman with the profile of a deadly shooter.
He's a man where he not look them way there, you understand? He's not a troublesome man, he's not a worrisome man. How me if you know about man now? I told music. He fix up him sound down here, me fix up my sound. More time me a passenger down say that me and say, Brace for me not get the permit. And when we are going to deal with this something, you understand? And he come and he have his son to the down there, so I've been drink. And he say, why my brains you not drink? Initially, what we are doing, you know, drink something, and we say, boy, no, you know. So come in, maybe deal with the hard drink, you know. So when we see picture on TV last night, it was so surprising to me, physically say, and that the man there, you understand?
Now, while members of the security forces engaged in the standoff on Tuesday, the safety of people nearby was paramount, including those busy sharing live images for likes, oblivious to the danger.
So we are not just talking. You're seeing action. You're seeing police professionalism at its highest peak in terms of treating with the various issues that will confront us. Because our bottom line is to keep our people safe and to ensure that law and order is preserved.
CVM News understands the mostly seniors who were at home next door at the time of the shooting huddled in corners of their houses or on the floor as the guns barked seemingly without end. They were traumatized. The real reason Adrian Bernard, a.k.a. Eggman, was shot by Brownman is still unclear, and messages reportedly posted on Brownman's TikTok insinuating a need for vengeance are vague.
It's not the egg alone, something kick him off. For that the man can afford 10 crate egg if he want it. So it's not the egg. Something is further than the egg. So, you know, as far as me can say, to be honest, he's not a vile man.
According to Brains, if Brownman was having a mental meltdown, it didn't show.
Me can't say he may not have found that. He look pleasant and all right every day. So he can't say nothing like that. He tell you the truth. It just, when me I say, it just unbelievable.
The Independent Commission of Investigations, in the meantime, is probing the incident. Curlin Brown, CVM News.
Education Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon is again addressing questions about the ministry's updated grooming policy. This comes amid heated debates over students being locked out of schools for attire and hairstyles deemed inappropriate. Now, in an interview with CVM News, Dr. Morris-Dixon explained the process which is now underway to finalize the policy. Zog Grant tells us more.
Amid varying reactions to students again being barred from school because of hairstyles, Education Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon says an updated grooming policy is in the pipeline. Speaking with CVM News after delivering the keynote address at the 140th anniversary of Shortwood Teachers College, Dr. Dixon explained that the policy has undergone extensive vetting with input from students and even the Attorney General.
In terms of the grooming policy, as you said, it has gone through several rounds. Everybody had their say. We had the principals, we also had our teachers, we also had our students giving their comments on it. So it's actually quite comprehensive, and we even had the Attorney General looking at it.
Dr. Dixon says that the policy must be finalized through a collaborative process, stressing that it has already gone through several rounds of consultation and is expected to be completed by the end of this school term.
We feel very strongly that it has to be finalized in a very collaborative approach. And so it's already gone through several rounds of consultation. There will obviously need to still be a few more before it's taken to cabinet, but we're expecting to try to finalize it during this school term, which ends in December.
She noted, however, that a standardized approach will not work across all schools.
It's a very important policy. We know a one-size-fits-all does not work. And so there has to be enough flexibility in it, but also there needs to be some ground rules around which the grooming policy is set.
Zogrand reporting for CVM News.
With Gordon House expected to welcome a group of newly elected members of Parliament in a matter of days, questions are already being raised about what kind of change Jamaicans can expect in the upcoming term. Watchdog group Jamaica Accountability Meter Porto says it's time for greater responsibility, both from MPs and from the citizens they serve.
In a matter of days, the 15th Parliament of Independent Jamaica will convene for the first time, a moment that will usher in fresh faces and heightened expectations. Among the fresh faces is newly elected Member of Parliament for North East St. Elizabeth, Zulika Jess.
So I think most of us who would have done the groundwork would know generally what the major issues are for most of our constituents. And so it's really just a matter now of ensuring that you you act within the legislative framework and you are able to now make the necessary representation.
Unlike Miss Jess, Member of Parliament-elect for St. Catherine Southern, Fitz-Jackson, has done this before. 7 times. Speaking on CVM's lead story Prime, he said one of the biggest challenges for MPs is the constant struggle to sufficiently meet the demands of constituents.
And even when you are able to respond through allocation that you have, CDF, for example, usually channeled through like the Social Development Commission, because no member of Parliament writes a check. You make recommendations against the allocations that you have, and the processing of that is through a state agency. Sometimes the time it takes to render that support, is very long and distressing.
Notwithstanding, stakeholders are pressing MPs to confront the critical need for a change in the way the country is governed.
I think we will need a real change in the culture of the way Parliament conducts itself and the way the two parties conduct themselves. So the role of an opposition is not to oppose. And it has to find a means of constructive engagement.
Executive Director of the Jamaica Accountability Meter Portal, Jeanette Calder, in the meantime, is pointing to what she says is the lack of effort from MPs over the years to fight against waste, mismanagement and fraud.
They say that Jamaica, for example, loses 5% of its GDP to corruption. Let's half that and say they're exaggerating, 2.5%. I just checked what is our last rating, what is our last GDP figure. That's $80 billion, Giovanni. That would be, if I half it, $80 billion that we're losing. And I don't add waste and mismanagement or yet. So I'm trying to get the Jamaican people to see that going in and sitting on the PAC is one of the most important things that they can do.
But it's an issue that often slips through the cracks, as many MPs are usually missing in action from the very halls of Parliament.
Now, our parliamentarians can't monitor government and provide oversight. They can't create good policy, good programs, good projects if they are not in the house, that is their office, showing up for you and I.
Jamaicans, she said, also have a part to play.
Start at home where you are, where you're first gonna feel the impact, where you're gonna walk past somewhere and feel good about the difference that you made. And that is why the Constituency Development Fund is where I would say begin to engage your MP. Begin to build your muscles to engage and to understand the money at the local level.
2 of the unprecedented 19 female members of Parliament elect for the upcoming term are from the parish of Hanover. Speaking on CVM's lead story, Andrea Perkis and Heather Miller-Bennett said they'll be vocal on bread butter issues of water and road for their constituents. They also want more prominence for issues affecting women. Kevin Black reports.
Politics is male-dominated, and so to show young girls and women that we can take up space in politics.
With the increased female representation in the upcoming parliamentary term, Member of Parliament-elect for Hanover Eastern, Andrea Perkis says Parliament needs to place increased emphasis on domestic violence towards women.
Women sometimes feel a bit shadowed. Especially in rural areas, domestic violence, it happens ever so often, and it's a matter that is very delicate, very difficult to deal with by police officers based on how we as women react to domestic violence. Most of the times it's reported, but the women don't follow through, so a lot of education is needed.
MP-elect for Hanover Western, Heather Miller-Bennett, also praised the February 2023 formation of the Women's Caucus in Parliament, noting it should continue during the upcoming parliamentary term.
There are many issues facing women in general that needs to be addressed. Domestic violence, you mentioned, and also women balancing work and family, and even as parliamentarians, female parliamentarians balancing work and family. It is something, there needs to be a support system for that, and also to address concerns of domestic violence and abuse of women.
Mrs. Miller-Bennett also highlighted some ongoing issues her constituents are facing, which she intends to alleviate.
the roads from Green Island leading to my community, it is deplorable. It's deplorable, no maintenance over the last couple of years, so you have a lot of breakaways, and so those issues are foremost. Those issues are at the forefront of what they've asked me and what they have said to me that needs to be addressed.
Kevin Black reporting for CVM News.
Still in Hanover, disgruntled residents in Cascade are calling on the National Water Commission (NWC) to address a broken water main in the community. Residents say for over 3 weeks now, water has been eroding the middle of the roadway. They're calling on the NWC to urgently fix the main. Now, when contacted, Acting Corporate Public Relations Manager at the NWC, Delano Williams, says checks will be made. And our news package continues in just a moment.
Crunch your craving with the value menu from KFC. With combos starting at just $620. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Every back-to-school season, you've got math problems. Finding the answers could have you scratching your head for solutions. With a Sagicor Bank unsecured loan, you can borrow up to $5 million. No security needed. Fast approval, up to 5 years to repay, and flexible loan options. Problem solved. Dad, crown. Be crowned the back-to-school champion parent with a Sagicor Bank unsecured loan. Call 888-SAGICOR 724-4267 or visit sagicor.com for more details.
Jamaica, let's spread the word around to let the world know that we are proud to be one republic. We are the right to republic. Well then, let's propel we nation moving forward in a new direction. True independence, that's the projection. No more dependency, it's the best plan. Yes, we know what's best for us, cause we want we country prosperous. So make we just pull together as the general public while on the road to republic. Jamaica, let's spread the word around to let the world know that we are proud to be one republic. We are the right to republic.
A message from the Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs.
We are the right to republic.
Welcome back to CVM News at 7. We're continuing the news. The Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association has partnered with Sagicor Bank to launch a 6-week training program designed to equip small and medium-sized enterprises with the tools to compete both locally and internationally. Raymond Morrison has the details.
In a strategic move to strengthen Jamaica's economy, the JMEA and Sagicor Bank have teamed up to launch a first-of-its-kind training program for small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs. The 6-week workshop will provide 25 selected JME members with crucial business skills to operate at a global standard.
This really is to invest in the entrepreneurs that are part of the umbrella group of the JME. Why this is important is because this center was created to do the very same thing, which is to really invest in entrepreneurs and upskill them. And Sagicor Bank, as usual, is investing in our people, in our businesses, and in our country. For the training that we're going to be offering to a minimum of 25 JMA members, is that we are expecting them to upskill them for them to compete much better locally and internationally.
SMEs are the backbone of the JMEA, representing 74% of its membership and play a vital role in Jamaica's manufacturing and export sectors. The program aims to transform small businesses into global players, opening new markets and driving export growth.
We look forward to many SMEs becoming
exporters not only in the Caribbean or in North America, but listen to this, in Africa. Yes. I am sure that Kamisha will tell you that we're going to be working with persons across the those borders to see how we can start to look at markets that can be opened up to small and medium-sized businesses.
And manufacturing remains a cornerstone of the economy, contributing significantly to GDP and employment. The JMEA believes that with strategic development, SMEs will drive Jamaica's industrial future.
We contribute roughly 9% to GDP and employ 90,000 Jamaicans. And the JMEA is the largest business development organization in Jamaica, providing technical support to manufacturers and exporters. Now, we all know that micro, small, and medium enterprises are the backbone of the Jamaican society. Now, they fuel the growth. And so for us, creating this program is an acknowledgement that they do need some assistance.
For many business owners, the training marks a defining moment on their journey to growth and expansion.
I'm here to learn about how to scale my business because I hope that Sage Elites will be a premier world brand going forward.
And to note, the workshop will deliver high-level strategies that have drawn the attention from international organizations.
Recently, the World Bank, Nicola will tell you, they came to look at our model. The IMF returned to look at our model because they're going to try to generalize it across the world. This is a small country. And when you have those international bodies coming to look at a model that we have produced, a combination of what I call a private and public partnership.
The Sagicor SME Resource Center remains the only one of its kind in the country, positioning Jamaica as a hub for business innovation and global trade. The 6-week training begins next month with expectations that it will spark a new wave of growth in Jamaica's SME sector. Raymond Morrison, CVM News.
Imagine being able to leave your air conditioning unit on all day and night without worrying about high electricity costs. The University of the West Indies, in partnership with the International Atomic Energy Agency, is leading the charge to make that a reality in Jamaica. Now, nuclear energy is being touted as a cheaper and cleaner alternative to fossil fuel and natural gas. Here's Carla Ramdeen with part 1 of this 2-part report.
Fossil fuel is dead energy, it's dying energy. Fossil fuel is like so yesterday.
Campus Legal Officer at the University of the West Indies, Mona, Dr. Peter Glegg, says nuclear energy can provide Jamaicans with cheaper and more reliable electricity if the investment is made.
Manufacturing becomes cheaper. So therefore, the cost of baking a bread in a bakery is going to be reduced because the cost of electricity is less. And therefore, it will affect every single Jamaican at every single level if we have the nuclear energy.
He notes that the country is no stranger to nuclear technology, as it has been used for years in medicine.
Jamaicans have long been benefiting from nuclear energy. So I'll give you a good example, nuclear medicine. There are many medicinal applications for nuclear energy. So when you do an X-ray is the use of ionizing radiation that actually penetrates the tissue in order to provide an image of the internal organs that you can't see with your eyes. So a CT scan is a complicated form of an X-ray. But there are other modalities that utilize nuclear energy in medicine. So there's a diagnostic aspect and there's a therapeutic aspect.
He further notes shifting to nuclear would also cut back on the use of fossil fuels, which have been long harmful to the environment.
Fossil energy is dirty energy. Solar energy is clean energy. But I think maybe sometimes what you want to do is to have a certain mix of energy sources. So you have solar, you have wind, you have nuclear. And it's like when you do investments, you don't put all your investments in one company. You invest in stocks, in bonds, in a little company, and so on. So what nuclear energy can do for Jamaica in the future, it represents another source of energy, a reliable source of energy, a source of energy that will not pollute the environment.
but there are common myths surrounding nuclear, which makes some people fearful.
Oh, nuclear energy is dangerous, and if you have a nuclear breakdown, people think of Chernobyl, for instance. All right? But do the research. How many people truly died in Chernobyl? There were a lot of lessons learned from Chernobyl. And where the technology is today, we in Jamaica cannot be a country that will have a large nuclear reactor. One, we can't afford it, and two, it's not necessary.
Carla Ramdeen, CVM News.
We live in a world where many hide their emotions behind smiles and filters on social media. But experts say behind the screens, many are battling silent struggles. On this World Suicide Prevention Day, Jamaica is being confronted with sobering statistics. 67 suicides reported in 2024, the highest in 5 years. Akeem Oret has this report.
While social media usually paints a picture of happiness, the reality for many Jamaicans is often anything but. Behind closed doors, the silent battle with mental health is claiming more lives each year. According to the Jamaica Constabulary Forces Statistics and Information Management Unit, suicide deaths rose from 43 in 2020 to 50 in 2021, 63 in 2022, 66 in 2023, and 67 in 2024. Counseling psychologist at the University of the West Indies Health Center, Dr. Chukwemeka Victor Chiano, says there are many social factors causing this trend.
That societal isolation is number one, topping the list for me among the many other factors. Factors such as trauma, experience of trauma, trauma, distress, unemployment also is part of it.
Among those most affected are men. Dr. Chiana says cultural norms and stigma make them less likely to seek help, even when they are in crisis.
Among our men, teenagers, young adults, ranging from age 15 to 39, those are persons who end up taking their life by way of suicide.
Still, there is hope for anyone struggling with suicidal thoughts.
You are not alone. Mental health is not a sign of weakness. There is help for you.
On this World Suicide Prevention Day, the call is clear. Behind the masks and filters, Jamaicans must face the reality of mental health, break the silence, and support each other. If you notice suicidal signs in someone, reach out with empathy. Ask how they are feeling without judgment and offer help. You can direct them to the Jamaica Mental Health and Suicide Prevention Helpline at 888-639-5433. I am Akeem Oret reporting for CVM News.
And it's time for a break, but stay with us. We have more on the other side.
Crunch your craving with the value menu from KFC. With combos starting at just $620. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Quartz presents the Home Event 2025. It's the perfect time to refresh your home with deals you can't resist. Get mattresses as low as $29,999. Upgrade to a 55-inch TCL Smart TV for only $64,999. Plus, get a free gift with select appliance purchases. Shop today with Quartz Ready Finance and get more. Don't miss the Quartz Home Event 2025. Quartz, bringing value home. Offers end September 30. Conditions apply.
Every dream conquered is another dream gained. I land and I fly again like a jet plane. Headed straight in your direction. 'Cause I'm wiser, one step closer. I'm winning 'cause I work so hard. And the music keeps on playing, and the people them I say we are my show tonight. Oh, what
the value menu from KFC with combos starting at just $620. The time by KFC is
7:30.
Welcome back to CVM News at 7. Jordan Ford now joins us with a preview of what's coming up in sports. Jordan?
Well, Amoy, I can tell you, Reggae Boys fans who turned out to the National Stadium and even those who watched on TV were happy last night. A second win from as many games in the World Cup qualifying, the final round of CONCACAF qualifiers. So just a step closer to the World Cup for the Reggae Boys. So the dream almost coming to fruition there. We'll continue to build up the Easter Schoolboy football. That continues on CVM tomorrow with a doubleheader from Calabar High School. I'll tell you about one of the teams a little later on. And some sad news in sports. Alan Skilcole, anybody who is a football fan in Jamaica would know that name, passed away last evening, and we have reactions.
All right, thanks, Jordan. Of course, we'll be tuning in to see those reports. Now to the business report with Joel Crosskill.
Lots to share with you in the business report today. As Scotia Group reports net income of $14.8 billion for the 9 months ended July 31, 2025, an increase of $763.7 million, or 5.5% over the comparative prior period. Total revenues, excluding expected credit losses, grew by $4.3 billion to $50.6 billion, reflecting an increase of 9.3%, primarily driven by strong growth in its loan portfolio, which, as Deborah Lopez Spence, President, Scotia Jamaica Life Insurance, explains, has coincided with the introduction of a creditor protection mechanism, uncommon to most traditional banks.
In Q3, we launched our Don't Leave Them Alone, LOAN campaign to educate our clients on the benefits of credit life protection. This has been very well received by the market, knowing that they should they become ill or worse, their debts will be expunged. Credit protection is available through the branch network, through our retail banking officers, the contact center, and digitally for Scotia Plan loans. And we're pleased to share that credit protection will also be available digitally for credit cards before the end of our calendar year.
A year in which Scotiabank Jamaica secured the Euromoney 2025 Award for Excellence as the best bank in Jamaica, as well as the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce's Best of Chamber Extra Large Enterprise Award at their 40th annual awards ceremony. It also saw Scotia General Insurance Agency, SGIA, perform admirably, with gross written premiums increasing by 65% and policy sales increasing by 57% year over year, crossing a significant milestone in the process, according to Gary Von White, Senior VP, Collateral Protection, Scotiabank Jamaica.
I could tell you about the 65% growth that we saw in gross written premiums and breaching that $1 billion mark for the first time in a financial year. I could tell you about the 57% growth in policies on our books. Or I could tell you about the 75% growth in revenues year over year. I could also tell you about the 123% growth in NIAT year over year. I could speak to you about the industry-leading retention levels at 91%, and the fact that in just 2 years, we became and continue to be the top agency as measured by gross written premiums for GKGI's extensive intermediary network. And we're closing in on that #1 position.
President and CEO Scotiabank Jamaica Audrey Tugwell Henry, who was honored by the Consulate General of Jamaica, New York, with the 2025 Jamaica Independence Business Leadership Award, in highlighting the success achieved in Q3, noted that the overwhelming majority of financial transactions are being done digitally, with only around 1.6% of those transactions now taking place within the physical bank itself, which has meant that Scotiabank's client primacy approach continues to evolve by finding appropriate solutions to ensure that customer engagement is not digitally diluted, an objective that permeates across business lines, as mentioned by Yvette Anderson, Head of Sales and Distribution.
We continue to listen to our clients, and one request was, our clients asked, we need to be able to see or know when a deposit is made to our account. we're happy to say that we have now launched deposit alerts and our clients are able to see their deposits in real time.
Scotia Investments Jamaica Limited, SIJL, which took home the 2025 World Finance Pension Fund Award for Best Pension Fund in Jamaica and the Caribbean, also delivered improved account accessibility through the Scotia Caribbean Banking app, an online banking platform where clients now have the advantage of viewing daily updates on their investment portfolios. And in a short time, we'll see additional functions coming online, according to Sabrina Cooper, VP Wealth Management and CEO, Scotia Investments.
Very notably, I want to share that Scotia Investments has recently launched via our Scotia mobile banking app as well as online dynamic client statements, where our clients can now see all of their brokerage products and investment holdings by asset class, as well as many other features. We are aware that digital is the future, not only for viewing statements and transactional activities, but also in interacting and garnering advice. So in coming months, we'll also be launching a live chat where our clients can talk to advisors remotely.
And according to the Scotiabank president and CEO, maintaining that digital momentum will continue to bring with it a range of additional features and functions.
Wire transfers by way of online or mobile for clients will come. Further developments in technology for clients for insurance products will come. When we launched our Scotia General Insurance Agency, we launched it with a digital platform that allows our clients to do their insurance requests end-to-end digital. So the expectation, what you can expect from Scotia Group, is continued investments in technology to make it easier for our clients to do business with us. In terms of the Jamaican economy, I also have a fair level of optimism. I think once we got past the fiscal hurdle issues over the last few years, then that gives us an opportunity to start to focus on growth. And I see us a very reassuring level of political maturity in our country that also feeds my optimism and feeds the optimism of Scotiabank in continuing to do business in Jamaica.
And that was your business report. I'm Joel Crosskill.
Thanks, Joel. Now it's time to hear what's happening on social media.
So, what's happening online today? Apple unveiled its iPhone 17 lineup on Tuesday, featuring its thinnest smartphone ever, as the tech giant works to prove that it can keep pace in the generative AI race. Let's take a look at your reactions. At Will Ryan Wilson says, the iPhone 17 Air is very sleek and has impressive AI features. At Good Health is Power Rights. But can it make my pay raise though, and lower my tax reduction? At Kayla Williams comments, Cho, and since April I buy the iPhone 16 Pro Max. At Naomi.Joy says, the only Apple I'll be buying is the one out the grocery store. I can't keep up no more. At Katie Denise asks, can you make a phone that don't require a phone bill, please? And that's what's happening online. Stay tuned on